What if I told you it costs well over $2.5 billion to start an NBA team? That's right. Before you can even think about building an arena, hiring a coach, or selling a single ticket, you need to pay the NBA an expansion fee, well above $2 billion. This isn't just pocket change. It's a monumental investment. But here's the kicker. It's not just the price tag. Starting a franchise comes with an endless amount of layers of challenges and opportunities. Would you still want one in your city? Starting an NBA team is more than just a financial commitment. It's a bet on your city, your market, and your ability to build a franchise that can compete at the highest level of basketball. Today, we're going to explore those costs, the risks, and the rewards of launching an NBA expansion team. From the massive entry fee to recruiting players and building a fan base, we're breaking it all down. Let's start with the biggest hurdle, the entry fee. This is your ticket to the league, and it comes with a hefty price tag. Around $2.5 billion, and that was about 4 years ago. So the odds are it's even higher, $4 to $5 billion. Some could even be pushing $7 billion. So the numbers just keep increasing. That's just to join the NBA club. No players, no arena, no staff, just the privilege of being part of the league. Now, where does that money go? It doesn't vanish into thin air. Those billions of dollars is split among the existing franchises, giving every team a financial boost. Think of it as a welcome gift for the league, and trust me, the current owners aren't complaining. But this isn't just about the money. Expansion teams need to bring value to the league. They need to expand the audience, generate more revenue, and strengthen the NBA's global footprint. If they don't, the pie gets smaller for everyone, and that's a risk the NBA can't afford to take lightly. Now, let's talk about cities. Who is in the running to host a new team? First, there's Seattle, the obvious frontrunner. Ever since the Sonics moved to Oklahoma City, Seattle fans have been foaming at the mouth for a team. With a rich basketball history and a ready-made fan base, Seattle feels like a slam dunk. Then there's Las Vegas, the city of entertainment. The Golden Knights' success in the NHL proves that Vegas can support professional sports, and the city's vibrant energy and tourism appeal make it a prime candidate for an NBA franchise. But why stop there? Let's think bigger. What about international cities like London, Paris, or Mexico City? These aren't just pipe dreams, they're legitimate contenders. Imagine hosting regular games in Europe or Latin America. It's not just about basketball, it's about growing the league's global brand and connecting with fans worldwide. Of course, there are challenges. Adding international teams means longer travel times for players, coaches, and staff. A trip from Los Angeles to London? Oh, that's over 5,000 miles and nearly 11 hours of flight time. Multiply that across an 82-game season and you're looking at some serious wear and tear on the players. But the potential rewards, they're massive. International teams could open the door to billions of dollars in new revenue, from sponsorships to broadcasting deals, and with stars like Luka Doncic and Giannis and Nikola Jokic already captivating fans around the globe, the appetite for basketball has never been stronger. But what about the players? Are there enough stars to go around? Here's how it works. In an expansion draft, existing teams can protect their top players. Everyone else, they're up for grabs. We've seen this before with teams like the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. The talent pool can be thin, especially in the early years. Just look at the Charlotte Bobcats. They went 18-64 in their debut season. But here's the thing. Starting at the bottom isn't always a bad thing. High draft picks and smart recruitment can turn a struggling team into a contender. Just look at the Golden State Warriors. Every dynasty starts somewhere. And let's not forget about coaching. A great coach can make or break a new team. They're not just teaching X's and O's. They're building a culture, developing young talent, and setting the tone for the franchise. Think about some of the league's best coaches, Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra. They didn't just manage games, they built legacies. For an expansion team, finding the right coach is just as important as drafting the right players. So let's bring it back to you. Your city gets the call. The NBA is offering you a team. Do you say yes? Do you embrace the challenge, the cost, and the opportunity to make history? The NBA isn't just a league. It's a global empire. From Tokyo to Toronto, Paris to Mexico City, basketball has become a worldwide phenomenon. But how did this happen? How did the NBA go from an American pastime to one of the most powerful sports brands on the planet? Let's take a look at the NBA's global takeover and why expanding internationally might be the league's biggest game changer yet. It all started in 1946 when the NBA, then called the Basketball Association of America, was just a scrappy league trying to find its place. Back then, games were mostly held in hockey arenas, and players juggled day jobs just to make ends meet. But everything changed in the 1980s. Enter Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. These legends didn't just elevate the NBA, they redefined it. Michael Jordan, in particular, became a global icon. His Air Jordan sneakers, commercials, and unforgettable plays turned basketball into a universal language. Suddenly, the NBA wasn't just an American league. It was a global brand. The league took its first big international leap in 1995 with the addition of the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies. While the Grizzlies eventually moved to Memphis, the Raptors proved that basketball could thrive outside the U.S. Just ask their fans about the 2019 NBA championship. Today, the league is eyeing even bigger horizons. So cities like London, Paris, and Mexico City are already potential hosts for the NBA's next expansion teams. Imagine a team in Paris where fans could watch Victor Wembanyama on his home court. But the globalization of the NBA isn't just about adding new teams, it's about the players. Over 125 international players from 40 countries are in the league today. And they're not just participating, they're dominating. Think about the MVPs of the past few years. Jokic, Giannis, Joel Embiid, all born outside the U.S. These players bring unique styles, incredible skills, and a global fan base that follows their every move. The numbers don't lie. During the 2017-2018 season, the NBA reached over 1 billion unique viewers, with 65% of them outside the United States. That's more than half of the league's audience coming from other countries. And the NBA isn't stopping there. The Digital League Pass is available all over the world, and games are broadcast in 34 different languages. The league even customizes broadcasts for local markets, tweaking commentary and camera angles based on fan feedback. One of the league's smartest moves? NBA academies. These training facilities in places like Australia, India, and Senegal are developing the next generation of basketball stars. These academies aren't just about finding talent, they're about building fan bases in regions where basketball is still growing. Take China, for example, where basketball is the #1 sport. Despite political tensions, the NBA has a massive presence there, thanks to grassroots programs and events. But let's address the challenges. Adding international teams isn't as simple as picking a city and throwing down a court. Travel is a huge hurdle. A regular season game between Los Angeles and London would mean 5,000 miles of travel, like we said, and that's just one way. For players and coaches, the extra travel time could take a toll, especially during an already grueling 82-game season. There's also the issue of scheduling. How do you balance games between U.S. and international teams without disrupting the flow of the season? And what about playoffs? If a team in Paris faces one in San Francisco, the travel alone could stretch a series by weeks. So what about the rewards? They could be massive. International expansion means new sponsorships, broadcasting deals, and merchandising opportunities. Brands like Bibigo, Rakuten, and Tissot have already partnered with the NBA, seeing it as a getaway to global audiences. Adding teams in Europe or Latin America could bring billions in new revenue. For the NBA, it's not just about growing the game, it's about dominating the global sports market. So is the NBA's global takeover inevitable? Or will the challenges of international expansion slow them down? One thing's for sure, the league is playing for keeps and the world is its court. So drop your thoughts and comments below. Do you think the NBA should expand internationally? Or do you think it will hurt the NBA overall? And which city should be next for a new franchise? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the business of basketball.